If you want to know why the Queen of England is one of the toughest cookies you'll ever meet, then keep on watching. This video will show you exactly why you never want to mess with Her Majesty, the Queen. So, here is why Queen Elizabeth II is a total boss. Let's dive right into it, shall we? She controls the armed forces. Before anyone can ever join the army, they must swear an oath that they will serve the country and their queen. She has control over all of the forces in the country, and no one can ever tell her what to do. In fact, she's actually the commander-in-chief of the army, but she usually decides to assign that duty to either the PM, Prime Minister, or the Secretary of State for Defense. She can declare war on anyone. Yup, now it's starting to get really scary. Imagine the 95-year-old Queen of England, one of the most powerful people on the planet, losing it due to her advanced age. She could wake up one day and tell all of the armed forces to attack France. But this is highly unlikely, as Parliament and the Prime Minister have to consent to this decision. And yes, the last monarch to do so was her father, King George VI, when he declared war on Germany during World War II. She has a cash machine in the basement. The machine is provided by Coutts, a British bank that installed a cash machine in the basement of Buckingham Palace. Now, we're not saying that they use it often, but can you imagine having a cash machine at your house? You'd be clicking that thing day and night. If you like our first 3 reasons, then make sure you smash that like button. It helps us keep making these videos for you for free. She's the longest reigning monarch in history. The coronation was on the 6th of February 1952. This means that the 95-year-old queen has been sitting on that throne for almost 70 years. This makes her the longest reigning monarch in history, surpassing Queen Victoria. Oh, and she has seen 14 prime ministers come and go during her reign. She has a $600 million net worth. According to Celebrity Net Worth, the Queen of England is not a billionaire, despite living in one of the most expensive homes in the entire world. She has vast surfaces of land in her name and a lot of real estate that drives her net worth higher and higher. She has a $4.5 million crown. Someone from Mental Floss took the time to look at the Queen's crown carefully and found out that the crown was worth $4.5 million. That includes all of the gold, the cloth, the diamonds, and the rest of the expensive gems on the crown. The most expensive part were the sapphires. Just 7 of them cost over $2 million. Maybe that's why many people want to steal her crown. She's immune to prosecution. And now we come to a part of the law that many people don't agree with. Why? Well, on one side, you have those that say that the sovereign is incapable of thinking or doing wrong, and since all of the prosecutions are carried out in her name, she'll never come to court. But on the other hand, you have those that think the Queen is just another human being and she shouldn't be given immunity over the law. The law should be equal for all. She loves corgis. Because she's an outdoors person, she likes to take long walks around Buckingham Palace accompanied by as many as 1 dozen corgis at once. Over the years, there were 30 corgis that have passed through the gates of Buckingham Palace, and dogs aren't the only animals she owns. She loves the company of pets, that's why you can often see her going horseback riding and having a small petting zoo. She has a body double. Ella Slack is the woman that's been working for the Queen for more than 30 years. All of this began when Ella offered to stand for her during one of the rehearsals. Currently, all of rehearsals are done with this little woman. She walks the red carpet, she's chauffeured around Buckingham Palace, but the one thing she may never do is sit on the throne. That's the chair destined only for a royal bud. She has a sense of humor. After seeing all of that power and wealth, we would assume that she's angry all the time, and that couldn't be further from the truth. The woman is smiling and cracking jokes all the time. When her new and young chef met her outside Buckingham Palace, he ran the other way, as he thought that her dozen corgis would rip him to shreds. And what did the Queen do? She laughed in his face. His back, not his face. And just listen to her cracking those hilarious one-liners during public speaking events.
Mr. Prime Minister of Canada, for making me feel so old.
She can make anyone a knight. We're not saying that she will, but if she wanted to, she can turn any man into a knight that would serve the royal family. Now, we're not saying that she'll knight anyone, we're just saying that she could do it. She served in the army during World War II. While many women went into hiding during World War II, she joined the army, and this is where she learned to drive. Back then, she joined the ATS in 1945. This made her the first female member of the royal family to have ever served in the military. She has 2 birthdays. Her actual birthday is on April the 21st, but this doesn't mean jack. You see, the royal family has this ceremony where they celebrate the Queen's birthday on a Saturday in June. That's because the weather is much better at this time of the year. On the 21st of April, the armed forces give her a gun salute. She can pardon any criminal. If she wanted to, she could pardon any criminal. Again, we're not saying Elizabeth II is going to do this, we're just saying that she could do it if she wanted to. So, if you ever commit a major crime, then you have a better chance of being pardoned if the Queen likes you. She can legitimize laws. They call it the royal assent, and it's simply a fancy word that means her signature. Parliament has the power to make the laws, but before they become practice, the Queen must sign the bill and give her consent. But this is just a formality. Why? Because the last time a monarch refused to sign a bill was back in 1708, when Queen Anne vetoed one of the measures that would have restored the Scottish militia. She became a homeowner at 6 years old. The majority of the net worth of any monarch is in real estate, and Queen Elizabeth got her first house when Wales gifted her a house. They call it the Little Cottage, and the Queen received this when she was only a child. She can dissolve Parliament. If she chose to do this, she could fire everyone from the House of Commons. She can then hold new elections and change every member of the Parliament. Only the Prime Minister and the Cabinet would be unaffected, and even though this type of decision would be devastating for the country, this power hasn't been used by a British monarch since 1830. She can issue passports. Because every British passport is issued in her name, we can safely assume that she can give a passport she wishes. Now, she's not sitting in her office signing all of the passports in Britain. She has people that will do that job for her. She can fire the entire Australian government. Maybe you didn't know this, but the Queen still has powers over Australia. She even has a representative in Australia that works for her, and there was a little mishap in 1975. Kerr appointed a replacement who immediately passed the spending bill to fund the government. 3 hours later, Kerr dismissed the rest of the parliament. Then Australia held elections to restart from scratch. And they haven't had another shutdown since. She can drive without a license. She never needed a license to do anything in life, so why would she need a license for driving? Learning to drive during World War II is one of the most difficult tasks you can be given, and somehow she's a pretty good driver. In fact, she was messing with the Prince of Saudi Arabia. When the Prince of Saudi Arabia came to Balmoral Castle in Scotland, he was unpleasantly surprised when they told him that the Queen would be driving him around the castle. Seeing that he was uncomfortable to see a woman driving, at the time women in Saudi Arabia were forbidden by law to drive, the Queen stepped on the gas as the prince held on for dear life, telling his interpreter to tell the Queen to stop and slow down. Did she listen? Hell nah! She can do whatever she wants. Ah yes, finally! To sum it all up, she can do whatever she freaking wants, and that's what makes her a legendary boss. On a related note, what do you think makes Queen Elizabeth II such a boss? You can tell us in the comment section below. If you like more videos like these, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of them. And as always, thanks for watching, guys.